Hello, I've noticed that most form of anarchist ideologies still have government in them, or something like a government in it. And so yeah, when it comes to anarchy, it's not just a matter of no government and that's it. And it's a whole ideology. People think about it. So yeah, rule of thumb though, real fast, is don't attack something unless you can figure out how to argue for it theoretically. So you have to really try to understand something before you attack it. Anyway, so yeah, let's go with anarcho-communism, for instance. It seems to me that it's ruled by workers' councils and workers' unions. So there's still authority there, and there's still groups with power. Because it seems like a lot of anarchism, especially from Europe, is just communism light. It's like communism, but without a vanguard and without a Politburo. So it's like a non-totalitarian version of communism. So if you want an idea of what this form of anarchism looks like, I recommend looking at Spain, when a large portion of it was successfully run by anarchists for a while, and the Makhnovists in Ukraine, who successfully ran anarchism for a while before both of them were destroyed by Bolshevik communists who were trying to kill and get rid of all the anarchists. Anyway, yeah, there's still government in the form of workers' councils. Now, there's no state under any form of anarchism, in the sense that a state is a monopoly over a region, like a monopoly over the use of force. And a lot of these versions of anarchism are so decentralized that there isn't a monopoly. So you could have several workers' councils working at a single town, but none of them has a monopoly over the whole town in terms of their power and authority. But yeah, there's still government, there's still organization. And in terms of the other version of anarchy, anarcho-capitalism, there's no state, in the sense that you could have one city that has several security agencies and several insurance agencies, which insurance becomes like the main way they take care of everything in anarcho-capitalism. So if you have a problem with car thefts, you get car theft insurance and stuff like that. And the security people would be hired to try to get the cars back from money, profit, whatever. But yeah, it could be argued that anarcho-capitalism, although it doesn't have a state and that the security agencies don't have monopoly, they still act like governments. That they still have power and authority. These security agencies still have the authority to, if you steal a car, they can come get you and get the car back. And it's organized too, in the sense that anarcho-capitalism is pretty much a society run by contracts. Like everything is contracts. All law is a matter of civil law, contracts, and you'd sue people. So in anarcho-capitalism, for something to be a crime, there has to be a victim. Unlike today, where a crime is a crime against the state, usually, or there could be a victim. So we kind of have a split system in the United States. But a lot of the crimes are crimes against the state, where the state's the quote-unquote victim. But anyway, yeah, there's still government there too. So yeah, in any form of anarchy you can think of, you can find some form of government. That's why the Somalia argument is really retarded, because people who say that don't understand anarchism at all. Don't understand that for a society to be anarchist, they have to be full of people who self-identify as anarchist, and it has to follow anarchist principles of either anarcho-communism, where the anarchists seize the means of production and form their own non-totalitarian form of communism, or something like that. So yeah, Somalia is a bad example because it wasn't taken over by self-identified anarchists, and it's not communism light, or nor is it anarcho-capitalist, and it didn't get taken over by people who self-identify as that and ran on those lines. Because yeah, it's still organized. Anarchism does not mean disorganized. In fact, the anarchy symbol stands for anarchy is order. But anyway, yeah, the only form of anarchy that really seemed to be governmentless would probably be like Max Stirner, the ego in his own. But he's a confusing case, where it seems like anarchy, but it seems like something that could turn into something like totalitarian, because you could really interpret this guy lots of ways, because you could also interpret him as saying we should have aristocracy or something, because he sort of, it has that feel about him. Anyway, yeah. And then one last point is that I've noticed that in history the American form of anarchism and the European form of anarchism are very different, and that the American form of anarchism is practical. It's more of a, there's the rich evil capitalists and the evil politicians, let's just get rid of them, and then we'll set up our own super decentralized localist system of federation, whatever. Or there's bad guys that just take over the factories and we'll run them ourselves way better than anyone else, than these capitalists. And when the factories are run by us and not the one rich John Galt type, everything will be awesome. Whereas the European form of anarchism gets more utopian feeling, in that it seems to have, it says things like, once we get rid of the greed and profit motive, we'll be able to create a new socialist man by simply forming our own form of anarcho-communism, which is, it's very different than the pioneer feeling sentiment of the American version of it. That just goes to more of the, says more about the difference between American culture and European culture, and that American culture still has a pioneer feeling spirit to it that sort of rejects abstract stuff. Anyway, yep, that's it.